From the majestic African elephant to the cunning gray wolf, passing through the imposing white rhinoceros, the gentle mountain gorilla, and the magnificent Bengal tiger, the world has witnessed nature's miracles. Species that were on the brink of extinction have found a way back. Thanks to science, conservation, and human effort, these giants and predators are reclaiming territories, balancing ecosystems, and reminding us that hope never fades. Get ready to discover survival stories that defy the impossible. But before we start, make sure to subscribe to our channel and leave a like. Now let's begin. Number 20, the ring-tailed lemur, survivor of Madagascar's forests. The ring-tailed lemur is one of Madagascar's most iconic primates, and for a long time was on the brink of extinction. For centuries, its population suffered from habitat loss due to agricultural expansion and tree cutting for wood and charcoal. Lemurs live in complex social groups, and their survival depends on large forest areas for feeding and breeding. The creation of protected areas, such as national parks and private reserves, allowed isolated groups to start multiplying again. Additionally, captive breeding efforts coordinated by international zoos helped increase genetic diversity. Today, although vulnerable, the ring-tailed lemur is a symbol of hope, showing that even highly threatened species can recover when given proper attention and protection. This primate highlights the importance of conservation policies that combine science, education, and local engagement, proving that every individual counts in the fight for wildlife preservation. Number 19, the water phoenix. The Caspian sturgeon. The Caspian sturgeon, a prehistoric fish known for its impressive size and valuable meat, faced centuries of overfishing and aquatic habitat destruction. Considered nearly extinct in the early 20th century, the sturgeon is vital for the Caspian River and lake ecosystems, producing the famous caviar that fueled its overexploitation. Restoration programs include captive breeding, river monitoring, and reintroduction of juveniles into protected waterways. Beyond saving the species from extinction, these measures help restore environmental health to regions affected by pollution and river alterations. The rebirth of the Caspian sturgeon demonstrates how applied science and government policies can work together to return seemingly lost species to nature, reminding us that every species plays a unique role in ecological balance. Number 18, the saltwater crocodile. Giant returning to Australian coasts. The saltwater crocodile is known as the largest reptile on the planet, capable of exceeding 7 meters in length. For decades, hunting for its skin nearly drove the species to extinction in parts of Southeast Asia and northern Australia. With strict protection laws and constant monitoring, crocodiles began returning to habitats they had not visited for years. Community education programs also helped reduce human-wildlife conflicts, promoting safe coexistence. Today, the saltwater crocodile symbolizes not only strength and survival, but also humanity's ability to correct historical mistakes. Its stories of returning to riverbanks and mangroves inspire conservation projects worldwide, reinforcing that predatory species are essential for maintaining ecological balance. Number 17, the Sumatran tiger, striped shadow of the rainforest. The Sumatran tiger, the smallest tiger subspecies, faces historical threats from hunting and deforestation. For years, its territory was fragmented, drastically reducing its population. Recent conservation efforts include camera monitoring, anti-poaching patrols, and captive breeding programs. The creation of ecological corridors has allowed tigers from different areas to meet, ensuring genetic diversity and population health. The gradual return of these felines to Sumatra's forests shows that even in extreme challenges, recovery is possible when science, community, and government work together. The Sumatran tiger remains a symbol of biodiversity and a reminder that every preserved habitat means hope for survival. Number 16, the Galapagos tortoise, ocean giant reborn. Galapagos tortoises, known for their longevity and impressive size, nearly disappeared due to hunting and the introduction of invasive species on the islands. For centuries, colonizers and explorers hunted these giants for food, while rats, pigs, and goats preyed on eggs and hatchlings. Through the creation of natural reserves and coordinated breeding programs, the tortoises began multiplying again. Scientists, volunteers, and local communities not only increased the population, but also restored the island's ecological balance. Today, these tortoises symbolize resilience and recovery, showing that with dedication and strategy, species once considered lost can return to their natural grandeur. Number 15, the Andean condor, king of the skies who flew again. The Andean condor, the largest flying bird in the Americas, symbolizes freedom and longevity. In the past, intense hunting, accidental poisoning, and habitat destruction brought its population to critical levels. With strict protection measures, including hunting bans and captive breeding, condors began to be reintroduced into protected areas. GPS tracking programs also help scientists understand flight and reproduction patterns, increasing the effectiveness of conservation actions. Today, the Andean condor not only survives but also captivates tourists and researchers with its majestic glides over the Andes, reminding us that preserving iconic species strengthens environmental and cultural awareness. Number 14. The Sumatran rhinoceros, survivor of past eras. The Sumatran rhinoceros, the smallest and hairiest of all rhinos, was pushed to the brink of extinction by poaching and forest destruction. For decades, its population was isolated in small forest fragments, making natural reproduction difficult. Conservation programs focused on captive breeding, genetic monitoring, and habitat protection, yielding positive results in births. The rediscovery of small wild populations inspired international efforts to protect the rhino, showing that well-coordinated strategies can save even extremely vulnerable species. The Sumatran rhino is now a living example of resilience and hope, demonstrating that even the shyest giants can find a safe future with human commitment to preservation. Number 13. The axolotl. The aquatic monster defying extinction. The axolotl, an amphibian endemic to Mexico, is famous for its unique appearance and incredible regenerative abilities, capable of regenerating limbs, organs, and even parts of the brain. However, pollution, lake drainage, and invasive species nearly drove it to extinction. Today, scientific efforts combine captive breeding, habitat restoration, and environmental education to protect this singular animal. Beyond its ecological value, the axolotl has become a symbol of medical and biological research, showing that science and conservation can go hand in hand. Its recovery demonstrates that extraordinary species can survive when humanity recognizes their importance and acts to preserve aquatic biodiversity. Number 12. The Lear's macaw. Colors that withstood time. The Lear's macaw, native to Brazil, nearly disappeared due to illegal capture for the pet trade and habitat destruction in the Caatinga and surrounding forests. Through captive breeding, reintroduction, and satellite monitoring, the population began to stabilize. Local awareness projects taught communities to protect nests and promote sustainable ecotourism. Today, seeing a Lear's macaw flying freely is a testament to the importance of integrated conservation strategies, combining science, community, and legal protection, showing that vibrant colors can once again paint the Brazilian sky. Number 11. The Mexican wolf. Rescue of an endangered predator. The Mexican wolf, a subspecies of the gray wolf, faced intense hunting and habitat loss, once being considered extinct in the wild by the late 20th century. Thanks to captive breeding programs, reintroduction into protected areas, and strict monitoring, small groups were re-established in Mexico and the United States. Collaboration between governments, NGOs, and local communities has been crucial in reducing conflicts with livestock farmers and ensuring the species can thrive. The Mexican wolf's resurgence not only strengthens the ecosystems it inhabits as a predator, but also symbolizes that coordinated efforts can bring back species once thought lost forever. Number 10. The koala, Australia's symbol reborn. The koala, an Australian icon, faced critical periods due to deforestation, wildfires, and diseases, especially chlamydia. Its specialized diet of eucalyptus leaves and limited territory made natural recovery difficult. However, habitat preservation, reforestation, and disease treatment programs help stabilize some populations. Sanctuaries and reserves provide safety and breeding conditions, while drone monitoring projects track the health of groups. The gradual return of the koala demonstrates that even species with specific ecological needs can survive when science, conservation, and community awareness work together, showing that hope can be planted and harvested. Number 9. The giant panda, the giant who rose from the shadows. The giant panda, a global conservation symbol, was on the brink of extinction due to hunting and loss of essential bamboo forests. Chinese conservation projects focused on captive breeding, expansion of natural reserves, and bamboo planting to sustain food sources. Constant camera monitoring and behavioral studies helped reintegrate pandas into the wild. Today, thanks to these measures, the giant panda has been reclassified from endangered to vulnerable, showing that integrated conservation strategies can save iconic species. Its recovery inspires global environmental policies, reminding us that every action to protect biodiversity matters, and that even the most symbolic animals can thrive again. Number 8. The Irrawaddy dolphin. River charm that returned. The Irrawaddy dolphin, found in rivers and estuaries of Southeast Asia, suffered from pollution, fishing nets, and habitat loss, bringing populations to critical levels. Protection programs, including aquatic conservation areas and fisher education, helped reduce accidental deaths. Scientific research allowed understanding of migration and reproduction patterns, increasing survival chances. Today, though still vulnerable, the Irrawaddy dolphin is beginning to reclaim rivers that were nearly empty, proving that a combination of science, legislation, and community engagement can return creatures once thought lost to the planet. Number 7. The Siberian brown bear, survivor of frozen frontiers. The Siberian brown bear, inhabiting remote regions of Russia and northern Asia, faced overhunting and environmental degradation. For a long time, its population drastically declined, threatening the ecological balance of boreal forests. Protection programs included the creation of wild areas, satellite monitoring, and awareness campaigns about the bear's role as a predator and seed disperser. The Siberian brown bear has regained part of its original territory, showing that large species can recover if coordinated efforts reduce threats and restore critical habitats. Number 6. The American flamingo, return to the saltwater lakes. The American flamingo, famous for its vibrant pink coloration, nearly disappeared due to hunting for its feathers and habitat destruction in lagoons and mangroves. With legal protection, natural reserves, and colony monitoring, populations began to stabilize. Nest observation and predator control helped increase reproductive rates, allowing flamingos to return to previously abandoned areas. Their recovery shows how social and migratory species benefit from well-structured conservation policies, proving that coordinated efforts can restore color and life to ecosystems that seemed lost. Number 3. The white rhinoceros, giant returning to the African savannas. The white rhinoceros, one of Africa's most imposing and recognizable species, has always symbolized strength and resilience. With its massive body and impressive horns, this herbivore plays a crucial role in African ecosystems, influencing vegetation and shaping savanna and grassland dynamics. Its grass-based diet helps maintain balance among plant species, allowing smaller herbivores sufficient food and preserving biological diversity. However, the white rhinoceros faced extreme threats throughout the 20th century. Illegal hunting for its horns, highly valued on the black market for supposed medicinal properties and status, combined with habitat loss from agricultural and urban expansion, nearly drove the species to extinction. For decades, entire populations were decimated, and areas once home to hundreds of rhinos became empty. The situation was especially critical for the northern white rhino, whose population dropped to minimal numbers, coming close to extinction in the wild. Efforts to save these giants required unprecedented conservation and applied science measures. International programs began protecting remaining individuals, implementing anti-poaching patrols, and creating safe reserves. Zoos and sanctuaries coordinated captive breeding programs with strict genetic monitoring to avoid inbreeding and ensure population diversity. Innovative strategies such as frozen embryo storage and embryo transfer to females of related subspecies were implemented to preserve DNA and enable continued reproduction. White rhino social behavior also influenced conservation efforts. Although generally solitary, these animals form temporary groups, mainly females with calves, and exhibit complex interactions, including vocalizations, scent marking, and territorial behaviors. Understanding these behaviors was crucial to creating captive environments that promote welfare and natural reproduction. The ecological impacts of the white rhino are significant. As large herbivores, they help control grass growth, preventing areas from being dominated by a few species and promoting plant diversity. Their trails facilitate movement for other animals, animals and create microhabitats, increasing the ecological complexity of savannas. Additionally, rhinos contribute to nutrient cycling by dispersing seeds and fertilizing the soil, benefiting the surrounding plant and animal communities. Public awareness played a crucial role in white rhino recovery. Educational campaigns and ecotourism programs demonstrated that protecting these animals preserves biodiversity and generates income and economic opportunities for local communities. Rhino viewing in national parks, safaris, and private reserves became a valued activity, encouraging protection over poaching. Despite progress, challenges remain. Poaching continues to be a constant threat, especially in regions with limited enforcement. Human-wildlife conflicts can occur in agricultural areas near reserves, requiring mitigation strategies such as fencing, constant monitoring, and compensation programs. Climate change also affects water and food availability, requiring ongoing planning to ensure species survival. The resurgence of the white rhinoceros is a powerful example that grand species can return to nature when human commitment, science, and coordinated conservation policies are applied. Each surviving rhino represents decades of effort, dedication, and technological innovation in preserving a species that nearly vanished from the planet. Today, seeing a white rhino roaming freely across African savannas is witnessing the triumph of conservation and international collaboration. Number 2. The mountain gorilla. Gentle giant, rising from the African forests. The mountain gorilla, one of the planet's most emblematic primate species, inhabits the dense montane forests of Central Africa in countries such as Uganda, Rwanda, and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Known for its robust build, complex social behavior, and remarkable intelligence, this gorilla is a true treasure of global biodiversity. For centuries, its population was threatened by poaching, disease, and habitat destruction, pushing the species to the brink of extinction. Historically, the mountain gorilla suffered major losses due to human expansion. Local people and colonizers hunted gorillas for meat or as trophies, while deforestation and the conversion of forests into agricultural lands fragmented their territories. These factors led to drastic population declines, creating isolated groups and hampering natural reproduction. By the early 20th century, it was estimated that only a few hundred individuals remained, making the species extremely vulnerable to total extinction. Global awareness of the mountain gorilla's importance began growing in the 1960s, driven by scientists such as Diane Fossey, whose dedication to research and conservation helped draw international attention to the species' critical situation. Fossey and her team developed methods for monitoring, documenting, and protecting gorilla groups, laying the foundations for modern conservation programs. Legal protection and the creation of protected areas were fundamental for the recovery of mountain gorillas. National parks such as Volcanoes National Park in Rwanda and Bwindi National Park in Uganda provide safe havens, allowing isolated groups to multiply. These protected areas are carefully monitored by trained rangers who patrol continuously to prevent poaching and ensure animal safety. The social behavior of mountain gorillas is fascinating and essential for their survival. They live in groups led by a dominant male, called a silverback, accompanied by adult females and offspring. Cooperation within the group is intense. Males protect the group from threats, females care for the young, and all participate in social interactions that strengthen bonds. This complex social structure contributes to reproduction and group stability, being a central focus in conservation programs aiming to maintain natural behavior in captivity and protected areas. Mountain gorillas' diet also plays an important ecological role. As herbivores, they consume leaves, shoots, fruits, and bark, helping disperse seeds and promote plant growth in different areas of the forest. This ecological activity contributes to maintaining plant diversity and the balance of montane habitats, benefiting various species that rely on healthy forests. Sustainable ecotourism programs have been vital to mountain gorilla conservation. Controlled tourism guided by trained professionals generates significant income for African countries, incentivizing local communities to protect gorillas rather than hunt them. Part of the revenue is invested in environmental education, park infrastructure, and support for community development projects, creating a mutually beneficial relationship between humans and animals. Despite progress, threats persist. Poaching, diseases transmitted by humans, and regional conflicts continue to pressure gorilla populations. Climate change and habitat loss remain long-term challenges, requiring constant monitoring and adaptation of conservation strategies. Scientists track group health, administer vaccines when necessary, and study reproductive behavior to ensure the population continues to grow sustainably. The recovery of the mountain gorilla is an inspiring example of resilience and positive human action. From just a few hundred individuals, the population now exceeds 1,000 animals in the wild, demonstrating that coordinated efforts among governments, scientists, and local communities can reverse extinction trends. Number 1. The Bengal tiger, the king returning to Asian forests. The Bengal tiger, majestic and imposing, is one of the most recognized and admired tiger subspecies on the planet, symbolizing strength, courage, and the richness of Asia's biodiversity. Originally, its distribution spanned vast areas of India, Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan, and parts of Myanmar, occupying tropical forests, mangroves, grasslands, and mountainous regions. This apex predator plays a crucial role in ecological balance, regulating herbivore populations, influencing vegetation, and maintaining the health of complex ecosystems. For centuries, the Bengal tiger faced human persecution. Intensive hunting for skins, trophies, and in some cultures, for use in traditional medicine led to dramatic population declines. Habitat loss due to deforestation, agricultural expansion, and urbanization fragmented territories, isolating individuals and hindering natural reproduction. Between the late 19th and mid-20th centuries, the population was estimated to have been reduced to just a few hundred animals in key regions. This critical situation made the Bengal tiger a global symbol of endangered species, drawing attention from biologists, governments, and conservation organizations. International awareness of the need to protect Bengal tigers led to a series of initiatives, most notably Project Tiger, launched in India in 1973. This pioneering program established reserves and national parks, created patrol units to combat poaching, and implemented scientific monitoring strategies. The project also included environmental education, local community engagement, and development of alternative livelihoods to reduce dependence on hunting and natural habitat exploitation. Legal protection and conservation efforts had remarkable effects. Some reserves, such as Sundarbans National Park and Ranthambore National Park, now host stable Bengal tiger populations, while captive breeding programs help reinforce genetic diversity. Advanced monitoring techniques, including triple camera traps, GPS tracking, and genetic analysis, allow scientists to study hunting behaviors, territory patterns, and social interactions, ensuring conservation strategies are adapted to the species' real needs. The Bengal tiger's behavior is fascinating and complex. A solitary predator, it marks vast territories, hunts primarily at night, and possesses extraordinary perception, strength, and agility. Dominant males protect territories that can span hundreds of square kilometers, while females care for offspring and teach essential hunting skills. The intelligence, memory, and adaptability of this feline make it a formidable hunter and ecosystem engineer, controlling populations of deer, wild boar, monkeys, and other herbivores, preventing overpopulation and environmental degradation. The ecological impact of the Bengal tiger extends far beyond its predatory skills. By controlling herbivores, tigers allow vegetation to regenerate, benefiting birds, insects, and small mammals. Their presence maintains the balance among species and habitats, influencing rivers, lakes, and grazing areas. Without apex predators like the tiger, entire ecosystems can collapse, highlighting the critical importance of this feline for environmental health. Ecotourism programs and local awareness initiatives are also fundamental. Communities near reserves receive training and support to generate income through responsible tourism, tiger observation, and environmental conservation efforts. This involvement creates a symbiotic relationship where humans and tigers coexist sustainably, reducing conflicts and promoting ongoing protection. Despite partial success, challenges persist. Poaching for skins, bones, and body parts still threatens some populations, especially in remote areas. Habitat fragmentation continues, requiring the creation of ecological corridors to connect isolated populations and promote genetic diversity. Climate change, forest fires, and additional human pressures represent ongoing threats. Thank you very much for watching the video. If you enjoyed our content, subscribe to our channel and leave a like. Also, check out other interesting content appearing on your screen right now, and I'll see you in the next video. See you next time.